Hey viewers, I bought myself a new toy, a cordless inflator. I've been looking at these for a while. I finally bit the bullet and bought one. This is a Ryobi P737D. It's got the digital gauge. Now I have compressors, but they're not real portable and I don't leave them powered up, so they're not real convenient. So for convenience wise, I usually use a floor pump. So now I have this. So what I want to do is I want to test this versus this to see how they compare speed wise, accuracy wise, convenience wise, and I'm going to test them on both a mountain bike tire and a high pressure road bike tire to see how they do. Okay, let's get started. First I need to deflate the tire. So now I'm going to inflate the tire to 65 psi. Well, the Ryobi took almost 1:10 seconds to inflate the tire to 65 psi. Now I don't know how accurate the gauge is on this tool, so I got another little digital gauge and I'm going to test it with this. Again, I don't know how accurate this is either, but at least we'll have a reference when we go test the floor pump. And it says 62.5 psi. So it's a little bit lower than the 65 that this said, but we'll see what it says when I pump it up with the floor pump to 65 psi. Okay, now let's see how long it takes with the floor pump. About 65 psi there. Well, I was able to pump the tire to 65 psi in about 40 seconds using the floor pump, so quite a bit faster than the cordless inflator. Okay, let's check it with this gauge here. 62.5, so it's actually the same as the cordless inflator. Pretty cool. One thing that might account with the slight drop from 65 psi is when I remove the pump head from the stem, a little bit of air leaks out, so that might be enough to drop it by 2.5 psi. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to try pumping up a road tire. This tire here is rated for 120 psi, so that's what I'm pumping it up to. It's got a pressed valve, so I needed to use an adapter, but the cordless inflator here came with a pressed adapter, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, let's see what happens. Well, the cordless inflator managed to pump up the tire to 120 psi in just short of 33 seconds. I can't test it with this little gauge here as it won't work with the pressed valves, even with the adapter. But 33 seconds, not bad. Let's try it with the floor pump. Okay, let's try the floor pump to pump this up to 120 psi. And 120 psi. And the floor pump pumped the tire up to 120 psi in about 16 seconds, easily beating the cordless inflator. And the results are in. For speed, the floor pump wins. It was able to pump up the tire pressure at about half the time that it took the cordless inflator. Now for convenience, I'm going to have to go with the cordless inflator. You can use this in places where it'd be awkward to use a floor pump, like if the bike's in a stand or in the back of a pickup truck. And frankly, this just took a lot less physical energy than it did cranking on the floor pump. Now for accuracy, I'm going to call it a tie because both pumps pumped up the mountain bike tire to the same exact pressure. Now another factor is cost. The floor pump is likely to be much cheaper than the cordless inflator, but for cool factor, the cordless inflator wins because it's just freaking cool and it was kind of fun to use. Which one do you guys like? Let me know down in the comments. Now, something that would be really cool is if somebody made a cordless inflator like this profile, but had a higher CFM, was more powerful and could pump more air. That would be really cool. I don't know if somebody makes one like that, but if you guys know, let me know down in the comments too. If you're interested in checking this unit out, I'll include a link down in the description. So hopefully you found this video useful or interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button and be sure to click the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. I'm over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like that page. I post a ton of stuff over there. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching.